Hello, namaste, and welcome in the series of cybersecurity. This side is Meena, and today I will discuss about ARP poisoning. ARP, Address Resolution Protocol, means when the devices communicate with the other devices over the LAN, how they just recognize with whom I need to communicate. Okay, over there the role of ARP comes. It will just resolve it. I know the IP address, but I don't know the MAC address over the LAN. So they send a request who's that MAC address related to that IP addresses. Okay, and in the reply of ARP, they will receive the MAC address of the destined device, where they store that MAC address into their cache. That's called ARP cache. Okay, and hackers use it because this is the identity of the destination address over the LAN with whom they will communicate. And if they will just exploit it and just polluted it, then they can get the copy of the data when they are receiving it um, from the different users. As you can see here in this picture, for example, there is a user, he is a legitimate user. Okay, that's A, and they want to communicate with the default gateway, that's our router, and its IP address is 10.1.1.1, and the IP address of A is 10.1.1.2. Okay, and the MAC address of A is, for example, AAA, and for a router, that's B. MAC address is, for example, say B.B.B. Okay, once they want to make communication, now the device A doesn't know about the MAC address of the 10.1.1.1. Okay, so it will just send a ARP request, whose that IP address is. Then the B will send a reply, this IP address belongs to me and my MAC address is B.B.B.B. And this reply it will send to A, and A will make an entry in its ARP table. This is the normal legitimate working way of ARP cache and or ARP request and reply. But when the hackers will come in the picture, for example, say uh, inside hacker, they want to see what's going on between uh, device A or the user A and the router, where they are communicating with, for example, here is over the internet they are communicating. What traffic is just passing through between this A and B. Here is hacker. He wants to get a copy of that data. So this hacker will work as a man in middle attack. And here is what it will say. Uh, the MAC address that's belong to A and the MAC address that's belong to B. Now it will say, although the legitimate MAC address of C is, for example, IP address is 10.1.1.3 and the MAC address is C.C.C.C, which is the belongs to device C. But it will say my MAC address is B.B.B, and for 10.1.1 the MAC address is C.C.C. So here it's just changing it. When that A will communicate with B, it will think, yes, uh, in my table, because now the hacker poisoned the ARP table of A and saying for router MAC address is C.C.C, which is the MAC address of hacker's device. So Instead of the traffic will go from A to B, now a copy of that traffic first it will just move to C, and C will take a copy here, and will that copy will forward to, or that packet will it will forward to the router. And when the router will send, because hacker also polluted the ARP table of routers as well. For the router, MAC address belongs to 10.1.1 to 1.2 is C.C.C. So the reply first it will just send to this C, and C will check what is inside the packet, and then this will forward that request to A. In this way, hacker is in the middle. Instead, between the source and destination, they are just communicating directly. That flow will move through the hacker's PC, and then the hacker will forward that information to the destination. So that is ARP poisoning, and with the help of the intercept, we can perform it. Okay, so follow me on the cybersecurity prism and get the notification for the next interesting and informative session. Also share that session with your friends, group members, so that they can understand about ARP poisoning, how it's working. And so see you in the next session. Namaste.